Hello, Aquarius. My name is Kristen, and this is Home of Houses. Welcome home, Aquarius. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by joining this link here and also in the bio. As a healer, I welcome you. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. Aquarius, hi. Life has been lifing. It's like all eyes are on you, Aquarius. Everyone is looking at you. You are now the leader of the Pluto transit. You've been this way for a while. You felt it this time last year, and that transition was intense. And it started at around February of last year, and there was a moment in September. We're going to really go over September of last year and its importance because of the Virgo full moon happening this March. And then there was a moment in September when things transitioned back into Capricorn. And when they did, there was this great release for you. There was a relief for a bit of a moment. And this Virgo new moon happening around the same time in September really brought up your 8th house, brought up your shadow house, okay? And here we are again with this shadow house being in conversation. Aquarius, for you, for the past 6 months, things have been deep. Things have been intense. You know, your relationships, your debts, the things that are done in the dark, and also your insecurities tied to the fact that you don't feel like the most refined or put together person a lot of the time, and your desire to kind of run, jump, and oftentimes be free or go against the grain, and you having to really root yourself or ground yourself at moments that you didn't necessarily want to or didn't necessarily feel comfortable in. I would say some of you could have found yourselves having a conflict with someone who is a Virgo, with someone who has dominant Virgo energy, because you are in your first house Pluto transit. So Virgo energy, your 8th house energy, is coming in with a bang. And this started, like I said, September of last year. What do those things represent for you? How are you working? How well are you working? How refined are you? How perfect are you? What is your footprint in the world? How do you serve the world? And how do you need to be more controlled in your social image, in your identity in that way? You can't just continue to just kind of be free, you know, and it's terrible because you guys love your freedom, but this Pluto transit wants you to be more serious about that freedom, more structured in that freedom, more serious about it. I guess I don't know if I said that twice over, but Aquarius, the eyes are on you and they're there to serve you so that you can be better at how you serve yourself, how you show up with yourself. And this full moon brings a closure when it comes to this that has been going on for about 6 months. You know, there's a great release here. There's a relief finally happening because these things were taking place so that you could really dive into this energy and start in the darkest corner of Pluto officially being in your sign, which is in your 8th house, which is in the house of your shadows, the house of your secrets, the house of your insecurities, you know, and it was there to transition you. So as you sit in this space, Aquarius, it's nice that you're going to get this relief, you know, but it can come at, let's say, the cost of identity. Let's say old identity. Some of you can find yourselves feeling neurotic about how you control your social identity or how people see you in that way, you know. But again, it's here to refine you. When we see Aries being retrograde in Venus and Aries being retrograde in Mercury as well, these things are coming up when coming up so that you can again understand and refine the way that you see your values, the way that you see your value systems, the way that you rethink yourself and how you are, let's say, handing yourself to the world, you know, how you are communicating yourself. So I would say less about your values and more about the way you communicate those values, because it is your third house, right? So it's the way in which you communicate yourself to people and wanting people to understand you better. And you've had to refine this, be clear on this, do a lot of work when it comes to this, because you've been in your own, let's say, battle. It could be internal, could be external, about how people understand you, how people are listening to you. And again, all of this refinement is just to help you and be on your side, let's say. So March is going to continue to bring about that. With Pisces being in the North Node, there's a lot of compassion in the air, and people want to understand you and they want to feel you. They want to see you because they just can't help but desire to. But you have to put in the work to really do the best job that you can at properly communicating yourself. Hi, Aquarius. So here we are for your remainder of March reading. And Aquarius, I feel like you've kind of got a little bit going on inside. Let's just say that. We see you here with the Five of Cups in reverse, and this is accompanied by you, the King of Swords, standing very strong underneath. So it's like for the remainder of March, you're going to be getting yourself out of a negative space, out of a sad place. You've been dealing with sadness. Again, it's like Aquarius, it's like the kind of sadness that feels, like spilled cups. Very simple, like not to downplay or distort what it is that you've been going through, but it is a sadness that feels like a hurt, something like someone just kicking over what it is that you have standing in that sense. And you kind of being down in the dumps in a dreary place. So you're getting out of that by stepping back into, well, the comfort zone that you have. And we all know that you're not necessarily comfortable not connecting with your emotions. But Aquarius, your life has been about forcing you into having to navigate emotionally and not just feel your feelings naturally, and having to always be the emotional upper hand, the emotional bigger person, the person who is, the emotional navigator, dare I say. And it seems like you are stepping into this for the remainder of March. You're having to realize, like, you know what, I cannot feel right now. I cannot just wallow in my emotions. I can't just sit in this, and I have to kind of suck all this water up and step back into my King of Swords energy. I have to use rhyme, reason, rationality. Sometimes with you, Aquarius, as well, it's like, the divine always shows you, and I know it's not happy, it's not good, right? But the divine always puts you in a position where you cannot feel the way other people feel. And you do have to revisit this space over and over again where you might have felt like you were too nice, or you were too emotional, you were too sensitive, or you were too, vulnerable. And then it caused all this backlash, and now you have to zip it back up, take the water away. I like to call you, Aquarius, you're the water bearer. You're the person who can bear water without getting wet. Right? It's like the water does not touch you. You have to bear it for other people. You have to pour it for others. And it feels like oftentimes it's not getting poured back into you. It's not being given back to you. We have this clarified here with abundance and also not enough, which is very contradictory. It's like you're having to focus on the positive picture and see that you can have whatever it is that you want, but then you're also feeling like you can't. Like, as if, again, something is standing in front of you that says, oh, I can make this and I can get this. But at the same time, I am deathly afraid that I am not enough. I'm deathly afraid that I cannot achieve this. I feel so deeply insecure. I feel so sad. I feel so unworthy, or like the possibility doesn't exist. Like I see the outcome, but I can't actually get it. I can't actually achieve it, right? In your fears, Aquarius, we have bondage, okay? Very loud with Anesia Cutlass underneath that there. So that's a harsh energy, okay? Very harsh. Bondage is normally known in the tarot as the devil, and Onesia Cutlass is known as the Knight of Swords, which is comfortable for you because you are swords, right? You are the sword wielder. But this is a very harsh energy. It's the other side of Saturn here. It's Saturnian. You know, we've got Capricorn, and we've got Capricorn married here with, you know, harsh air in that sense. You are afraid of addiction. You are afraid of bondage. Some of you could be also dealing with the possibility of prison time or something going on when it comes to getting major consequences for some actions that may have happened or things that have played out. I'm sorry to bring up something as traumatic as that. I hope I didn't coerce any kind of trauma responses, but yeah, I just have to let it roll off the tongue. It's like a deep fear of what will be, being trapped in something, getting major consequences. I'm surprised that justice isn't here, but again, it's with the wielding sword of air being underneath it. It feels like being attacked. You know, like someone coming toward you with a sword charging in your face in that sense, and that being the thing that scares you, like a bullying energy, the bully coming to bind you, to chain you, to keep you stuck, trapped, rooted, chained. Another thing is this here can be related to what's going on with your debts, with your finances as well, not feeling like you have what it takes to achieve what it is that you want financially, or again, just getting a general outcome and feeling like you're not enough, because this devil feels like an overhanging energy, an overarching energy. When the shadow is sitting with a major and the subject is sitting with a minor, Aquarius, for me, it lets me know that what you fear is bigger than what is actually going on, that your fears are the governing force for you for the remainder of March. So a lot of things are playing out in your subconscious in terms of what you are actually dealing with, Aquarius. And this, it feels quite scary, although you're putting yourself in a position where you're stepping out of sadness. You're realizing you can't keep staring at these spilled cups, that in fact action needs to take place. And for you, action begins when you step into your King of Swords energy. Action begins when you realize your worth as the king. And what I love about the King of Swords is he is stoic. He can be mean. He can be cold, he can be crass, but he's real. He stands very firm in himself, and he's like, listen, this is just what it is. All logic, all rationality, let's remove emotional responses and the possible waves, or the ego, the fire of ego that can possibly come crashing down. And it's very firm, and you move from a space that is firm and quite respectable in that sense. You have to suck up your emotions because of this fear of what is going to happen in terms of consequence. Some of you also can find yourselves being afraid of addictions. Okay, the addictions also being possibly addicted to another person as well, and feeling like you can have this person, but also you fear that you cannot have this person, and it's bringing up a lot of insecurity. And again, you're having to suck up your emotions in the process of not being able to get what it is that you want or the outcome that you're looking for. In the advice, Aquarius, we have spirals of manifestation with free from judgment, free to love. So this lets me know that it's all about you just moving forward, Aquarius. You have to take that King of Swords energy that you are going to be in, and you just have to focus on moving forward. Whatever it is that you do, you have to move. Keep going. Focus on pulling in more abundance to yourself and generating movement in this circumstance or situation. Free from judgment, free to love is big in terms of yourself. The way in which you feel like you're not enough, the way in which you feel like you're not good enough, the way you're tearing down yourself, beating down yourself, weighing on yourself. You need to remove that, Aquarius. You need to release that energy. That is where you need to be when it comes to allowing love to move through you, because you cannot get what it is that you desire and release these bonds, this chained, just low vibrational energy that is trying to keep you stuck with the devil, if you do not release the level of self-judgment, self-criticism, and self-induced shame that you are carrying, Aquarius. In your healing points, we've got Bath Call with Pearl of Sorrow. Bath Call is a fire energy, okay? And it's all about understanding how, as I always say, birth through fire, right? It's about understanding how to release any kind of overthinking, anxieties, misaligned perceptions because your head is all over the place. It's like askew, complicated explanations. As you seek the simplicity of the deepest truth of your heart, gently but firmly cast aside that which does not resonate as being true to your heart. Focus upon and speak from a higher spiritual perspective. All prayers are answered at the perfect time and in the perfect way. You have a powerful voice which can foster healing and wisdom on our planet. So in very simple terms, Aquarius, you are overthinking, you're overfeeling. Okay, not even, you have been overfeeling. And I know that it's hard because yes, now Pluto is in your sign, so it's even harder with the divine constantly pushing you away from what you feel and putting you through situations where you feels like it's not warranted, you know. So in this case, yeah, your emotions have been making it so that you've been in this part inside of you that is just ruminating and trying too hard to understand situations or people in a way that adds to their complexity when really they do not have it. The situations in themselves are not very complex. It's rooting yourself within and understanding that the only thing that matters is what's true in your own heart. And it's coming from that space. Pearl of Sharo is a water energy. So we've got two opposing energies here. We've got fire and we've got water. So this lets me know you need to break through the confines of your misaligned emotions, stepping out of that Five of Cups energy with the fire element telling you, hey, you have to stop with the anxiety. You have to stop overthinking. You have to stop overfeeling, and you need to break free and push yourself through, power through with the simplicity of what it is that you truly desire. And then from there, you heal yourself with understanding, I do not need to think myself. And I keep saying think, but honestly, this feels more like a feeling thing for you guys. I do not have to feel myself into a coma. Okay. And as I break free from that, and as I push through and I power through that, I can heal by understanding that there is a possibility for me to get to the other side of this by Pearl of Sharo. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on your spiritual path in this lifetime, Aquarius. Breathe. Feel. It's okay for you to feel, but it's just a matter of like not feeling the five. I hate to tell you what to feel, but it's the Five of Cups, you know, the sadness, the spilled cups. You're being required to suck it up. I hate to say that in a harsh way. I don't mean it in a harsh way, but to dry up the well, let's say, and navigate, pour the water in a different direction. Okay, and the direction that it goes in is self-responsibility and understanding that what it is that was dark can submit to the light, but in your own hands, Aquarius, when you remind yourself that you are the water navigator by stepping out of this lack of self-confidence. All right, so at the bottom of the clarity deck, we've got addiction here, which codependent, obsession, possession, block. Like, especially for those of you who are in relationships, you can be finding yourself, again, hyper, two chains here, okay? So whatever it is that is going on in your shadow, you feel chained to it. You feel bound to whatever it is going on, especially for those of you who are dealing with legal situations, things that feel bigger than you, but particularly legal situations. Outside of that, it can be love in that way. You feel chained, you feel trapped, you feel attached to this person, attached to the idea that you have of this person or the outcome in this circumstance or in this situation. And it's causing you to be codependent, weak, wounded. Okay. And it's about getting out of that energy, stepping out of that energy, but it's not going to be easy. You're going to be balancing between feeling like you can get whatever it is that you want and then feeling stuck and bound because of the lack of self-confidence. At the bottom of the advice deck, we've got you, Aquarius, with going beyond normal, doing what it is that you do best, thinking outside the box, Aquarius. You can be very fixed, you can be quite stubborn, but you push yourself when you allow yourself to innovate. So in this case, the goal here is to continue to keep moving, spirals of manifestation, create more abundance when it comes to yourself from a place that is more emotionally controlled, taking responsibility for your experiences and healing and understanding that you have the power to submit what is dark to the light, releasing self-judgment by going beyond normal, okay? By allowing yourself to think differently, to innovate your emotional body. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, especially financially, what's going on in your finances, what's going on, like I said, legal matters. There's something that is really this devil energy, especially when we're talking about Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn matters. And then with the King of Pentacles in reverse, so a lot of you can be feeling quite downtrodden when it comes to what makes you feel abundant. Okay, so like I said, legal matters or direct down to your financial wars, financial wounds. Especially that makes sense with abundance as well, in terms of feeling like you want to get what it is that you want. You can't really dwell on what you do not have. And again, this goes back to relationships as well as not being able to acquire a particular person. It seems like if for those of you who this is love, it's acquiring a particular person that would make you feel very abundant. And it's that feeling that without that, you feel very lost at sea. You feel very scarce in that way. And at the bottom of the shadow deck, we've got the Two of Swords in reverse, the Two of Cutlass in reverse. So it's like fearing that you cannot trust in your intuition. And at the bottom of the healing point here, we've got telepathy of matter, terra matter. So that lets you know that what it is that you desire is not going to manifest logically. And you need to trust that. Okay? Release the anxieties, release all the emotional washing away that you've been doing. Take responsibility, submit the dark to the light, okay? Relax in your energy and understand that you can have what you desire, but it's not going to manifest logically. Release the addiction to logic, to the fixed way that something needs to be. All right, so Aquarius. So we're going to do think, feel, do, be. Think, feel, do, be. All right. Think. Feel. Okay. Think, feel, do. Oh, wow. Okay. Be. All right. So Aquarius, let me just straighten this up a little bit. Yeah, so Aquarius, at the bottom of that deck, we have the Three of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, things coming into you. Okay, you being able to pull things into you. So what is it you need to be thinking? We've got the Tower here. All right, that's major arcana energy. We've also got a major arcana next to that. Think and feel are in major. So these are the big conversations. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier. What is in your shadow is overtaking you for the remainder of March, okay? So what is in your feelings? What is going on inside? The burden that you're carrying within your fears are overarching for the remainder of March. You need to be thinking that the Tower needs to fall. Take a note from your friend Scorpio, okay? Scorpio is very close to you, and you know, you are to Scorpio that Leo is to Taurus, okay? And in this space, you take a note from Scorpio by saying, I need to understand that I need to crash down this previous paradigm. I think at a certain point, Aquarius, you allowed yourself to get fixed. You allowed yourself to get fixed in an idea, an ideology about how something was supposed to go. And it caused you to become wounded. It caused you to become lacking in confidence, to be broken down because you're not going by your natural way, Aquarius. You need to break down, okay? You need to allow something to deconstruct so that you can rebuild something new. Next to this, we have what it is that you need to feel. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So next we have something that you need to feel with the Emperor. And this is in charge. Okay, so when your mind is on what it is that you need to break down, then your emotions are in a space where you understand you are the boss here. It is for you to be in control of this. And the Emperor is a confident energy, a powerful energy, and a masculine energy. And you are masculine, Aquarius. And it's good for you to embrace this powerhouse energy that says, hey, I'm coming from the space of the King of Swords. I'm remembering that actually I don't have to be washed away from what it is that I feel. I don't have to be in this kind of pitter patter place in this sense. I can remind myself of who it is that I am and step into this stronger place, because I'm going to break down the construct that I had in my head. I'm going to break down everything that does not serve. Okay. And I'm going to take full power and full control and be empowered in that way. What is it you need to do, Aquarius, is lovely because it's the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups for me is normally about idealism. Some of you might be needing to issue apologies, but most importantly, issue an apology to yourself. Lighten up, Aquarius. You need to actively lighten up the energies. There is more optimism here than you can see. Your self-perception, your fear and ego issues, the things that are keeping you stuck, the way in which you're breaking yourself down, it does not need to exist. Lighten up your energies and see yourself in a better light. Break down anything that stands in the way of your positive self-perception. Then from there, we're stepping into the Five of Pentacles in terms of who it is that you need to be. And what I love about this, Aquarius, is the Five of Pentacles in terms of an advice tied to who you are is somebody that is willing to just close the door on anyone or anything that does not serve it. I do not care if I will be abandoned. I do not care if this situation does not serve, if I'm not invited to that party, if that door does not need to be opened. You know what? I'm releasing all attachments and all addictions to needing to be taken in, accepted, needing this outcome to go the way I want it to go. And I embrace what little I am carrying, the alone experience, yeah, for you, Aquarius, a lot of the time your life path is about learning how to embrace the journey of the alone individual. And I know you guys tend to go through so much pain with that because you tend to want so many people around you, but then the divine constantly pushes you in scenarios where you have to focus on individualism. And this individualism is actually what's going to serve you here. It's going to help you in this case, especially when we have you thinking like the Tower. A lot of the time, the Aquarius can also represent the Tower because it's the lightning strike. Okay. So when you're talking about the lightning strike energy, it's embracing that and saying, I am happy. I am comfortable. I'm comfortable whether I am in the church or outside of it. I am comfortable whether I am invited or not invited, and I don't need anything else. I'm actually going to sit right here in the dead of winter, and that's where I was born. And I can find home here. I can find refuge here. And this is where you're going to find your power, Aquarius. So I love you. Actually, let's get one more moment of advice. Bright future, Aquarius. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. Believe that you can succeed and change your life for the positive. Believe it. Very simple. Like we said, lighten up with the Page of Cups. Lighten up with the Page of Cups. And when you embrace the Five of Pentacles, then the Five of Pentacles is not... When you embrace being on it, like we said, in the dead of winter on the outside of the church because you don't want to be in it, because the Pope is outrated anyway, it's like... or outdated, I guess. Overrated, outdated. Then you can build your own. Believe that you can and are building your own. Okay, so I love you. Do not get discouraged, okay? Ciao.